You've heard their names, but do you know the truth behind the legend? Each one of them carried a secret, a battle, a sacrifice that the world forgot. Today, we bring them back to life, not as heroes, but as humans, haunted, brilliant, flawed. This is their real story, and once you hear it, you'll never forget them again. Albert Einstein. They called him a genius. But behind those wild eyes was a silent child who didn't speak until he was 4. They thought he was broken, slow, yet inside, time twisted, stars danced, and light bent in ways no one had dared to imagine. Einstein shattered the universe with just a pencil and his mind. E equals mc squared wasn't a formula. It was a whisper from the edge of reality. But it cursed him. The atom bomb, born from his theories, left him devastated. He begged the world, don't use it. And when he died, they cut out his brain to hold a piece of the divine. But Albert Einstein's true brilliance, it wasn't in what he proved. It was in what he questioned forever. Socrates never wrote a single word. No scrolls, no manifestos, just questions. He wandered barefoot through Athens, asking things that made powerful men sweat. What is truth? Who are you without your mask? They called him a corrupter, a danger to youth. But Socrates wasn't trying to destroy. He was trying to awaken. He chose death over silence. He drank poison with steady hands, eyes burning like stars. And as the world darkened, he whispered to his followers, "The unexamined life is not worth living." And then he was gone. But his voice never left us, because Socrates planted a fire in our minds and dared us to look inward. Leonardo da Vinci didn't belong to his time. He lived in the 15th century, but dreamed in the 30th. He sketched flying machines while men still feared the sky. He dissected corpses in candlelight, mapping the secrets of the human body. He painted souls onto canvas, and in his notebooks, written backward to protect the ideas, were glimpses of a world yet to be born. Leonardo da Vinci was a scientist, an artist, a mystic, but he died alone, whispering apologies to the future. So much I wanted to know. We call him a genius. But the truth? He was just a man, desperate to understand everything. Julius Caesar was not just a man. He was a storm in human form. He crossed the Rubicon when no one dared, and made the Republic tremble. People loved him, feared him. He gave Rome bread and power and spectacle, and in return, his friends carved their knives into his back. Et tu, brute? That whisper shattered an empire. But Caesar's legacy didn't die on the Senate floor. It rose in the fire, in emperors, in centuries of conquest. Julius Caesar changed the meaning of ambition. He showed the world. You can rule, but only if you're willing to be betrayed. Galileo Galilei saw the stars and refused to look away. He built telescopes with trembling hands and peered into forever. He saw moons dancing around Jupiter. He whispered, "The earth moves." But the church called him a liar. They forced him to kneel, to deny what he saw. Galileo obeyed, but as he rose, he muttered, "And yet it moves." He died in silence, blinded, forgotten. But the stars he saw still shine, because Galileo Galilei didn't just discover the cosmos, he discovered the price of truth. Genghis Khan was born in blood. His father was poisoned, his family exiled. He had nothing, no crown, no army, only rage. But Genghis Khan turned that rage into fire. He united the Mongol tribes, forged an empire larger than Rome. Cities fell before him. Legends say 1 in 200 men alive today carry his blood. But behind the sword was a lawgiver, a strategist, a visionary. He banned torture, built roads, respected religions. Genghis Khan was no monster. He was a paradox, the storm that built as it destroyed. Martin Luther King had a dream, but first he had nightmares, threats, bombs, hate in the streets, and yet he walked. He stood before thousands and said, "I have a dream," and the world trembled. Martin Luther King Jr. wasn't just a speaker, he was a force. He knew he wouldn't grow old. The night before he died, he said, "I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you." And then, a gunshot. Silence, but his dream still marching. Marie Curie glowed, literally. The first woman to win a Nobel Prize, then the second. She unlocked the secrets of radiation, touching stars hidden inside stone. But it poisoned her. Her bones, her journals, still radiate. She carried vials in her pocket. No gloves, no fear. Marie Curie didn't seek fame. She sought understanding, and paid for it with her body. But she gave us hope. She lit the dark, and proved a woman can change the world, even if it breaks her. Christopher Columbus chased a ghost. He believed the world curved just enough to carry him to gold and glory. Instead, he found something no map had shown. New lands, new people. He brought kingdoms crashing into each other. We call it discovery. Others call it invasion. Christopher Columbus never knew where he had truly landed. He died broke, forgotten. But his voyage rewrote the planet. Lines on maps shifted, empires rose, and history. It remembered him, not for who he was, but for the world he changed. Sun Tzu may never have existed, but the art of war survived fire, flood, empire, collapse. A scroll that whispered, "All warfare is deception." He wrote not for kings, but for the mind. Businessmen quote him. Generals fear him. But the real genius of Sun Tzu, he taught us that battles aren't won with strength, but with silence, with patience, with knowing your enemy and yourself. Even today, his words move armies, because Sun Tzu didn't teach war. He taught how to win without it. They changed the world, but at what cost? Each of them left behind a piece of themselves. to remind us of what matters. Their lives are gone, but their echoes remain. Somewhere inside you, a fire has lit, and maybe it's time for your story to begin. Because the world doesn't need more heroes. It needs your truth. What story will they tell about you?